Howdy, folks, and welcome back to Fate Extra Caster New Game Plus. We are starting round 5. Unborn Dead End. Facing an unavoidable death. Facing an inescapable conclusion. One's true essence wells up. Prayer and salvation are unneeded. When the end is so close. In time, you shall see. Another kind of inevitable. Known to all humanity. Is the light at the end of the tunnel. Fifth week. The 5th selection. Combatants remaining 8. Again, somehow I was able to win. More accurately, I somehow managed to stay alive. That was the most powerful opponent I faced up until now, and being asked who I was shook me a little. However, with the support of my servant and Ranni, I have come to realize that I can only go forward. Even if my only reason for doing so is that I fear death. I have a servant to fight for me, and a beautiful, talented girl to help me. For now, I just need to forget about my past and continue forward as a master. Also, I'm remembering how we only actually have like 3 or 4 days of actual training this week because we have a lot of story cutscenes in the arena this week. So I don't think we're going to be getting 6 full levels. The next combatants will be announced on the second floor bulletin board, since we're already 4 levels ahead of the intended. The good old bulletin board with that all too familiar white sheet of paper. I am thankful with how the leveling works. Even though we were 4 levels over the recommended, we still lost multiple times against the boss. Because that's just how things go. Because the stats are not everything. Dying in one hit is everything, though, and that's what was happening. This time, I don't even have to look at the name to know who my opponent is. The moment I walked in, I was assaulted by the murderous horror I associate with the man. But also, round 5 here is going to be mostly the same between the Rin and Ranni routes. Although obviously, since we have Caster here and we have Ranni, there will be some different dialogue when they're showing up. But we have the same opponent as last time in the 5th round. His cold, callous eyes radiate a predatory gaze. None of the other masters tried to intimidate me quite like this. My skin prickles like thousands of invisible needles have struck the nape of my neck and my chest. You're not flinching. You've improved. That's what makes Magi so special. They can make extreme progress in just a short period of time. As the man walks toward me, the air grows more oppressive with each step until I can hardly breathe. But that ends now. He whispers in my ear as he passes, close enough to touch my shoulder. The world, the Holy Grail will be Leo's. There will be no deviation from this course. Unable to look, unable to breathe, I wait for his malevolent presence to slowly fade as he walks away. What a jerk! He probably doesn't realize how uncool he is. Caster's annoyance brings me back to reality. I bet he doesn't have any idea that he's a big, walking cliché. Don't worry about him, Master. You're way stronger and cooler than he is. Evening. As soon as I arrive at the nurse's office, I tell Granny about my next opponent. When I tell her that I will be fighting against Julius, Granny's jaw tightens slightly. Julius Malchus Carway, the Black Scorpion, assassin of the Harway family. I wonder how Granny knows so much about Julius. After seeing the apprehensive look on my face, Granny continues her explanation. I'm afraid I can't tell you any of the details, but he's known to strike from the shadows to protect the sign of his family, Leo Harway. Like a scorpion, his stinger is sharp and his poison brings about almost certain death. Recalling that foreboding sense of death sends a chill racing down my spine. It would be accurate to say that as an opponent, he is on an entirely different level. Even with extensive preparation, you still may fall short of being able to face him. Therefore, I have decided that I will help you. My health has returned, so if you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to ask me. An electronic chiming sounds from my terminal. The primary cipher key has been generated. I find myself recalling Julius's hollow, vacant stare. My opponent is a real assassin. One mistake and I might as well cut my own throat and save him the trouble of doing it for me. But I can't worry about that now. I have to go to the arena and find my first trigger. Granny is always so polite, isn't she? She's a delight. I will help you as far as I am able. That's why I know you will win, Hakuna. Matrix. Julius Harway. I was really contemplating whether I want to actually voice all the Julius scenes, but I think I'm gonna stick it through. Oh yeah, and fun fact is, if you are doing an Archer playthrough, because you can choose Saber, Caster, Archer at the beginning of the game, then you will get special dialogue if you both pick a female protagonist and go down the Rin route. Then you'll have a special cutscene with Archer at a couple different points. And then in the sequel, CCC, it doesn't have as much of a route split, but you do still get some special scenes if you pick a female protagonist and Archer as your servant. Next up is that Gloomy Gus. His and his servant's presences are so tenuous that they're probably pushovers. But even if that's the case, we still must be cautious. The feeling of death that seems to ooze out of the dismal man is almost overwhelming. That sort of conniving, underhanded person is the total opposite of my dear master. Leave. Oh, there's also the technical third game in the series, Fate Extella, the Umbral Star. Master, about that guy, looking into his eyes was like peering into those of a corpse. Whatever, if anything happens, I'll just have to act accordingly. Now let's get going. But yeah, Fate Extella, for sure. I have started playing it, and it is a bit of a weird sequel. We definitely know that it's connected to Fate Extra CCC because one of the major characters from CCC shows up in Fate Extella, and they show up in their post-character arc state, where they've changed their mindset from how they were at the beginning of CCC. This girl here is going to be fighting against Leo, so she's dead. But yeah, I've played a decent bit into Fate Extella. There are like multiple story routes. There's Saber, Caster, and then a third one. Instead of Archer having his own story route, he's actually part of Saber's route in Extella, which is pretty fun. Also, Extella, instead of playing like this, it plays like I believe Dynasty Warriors is the name of the series. It plays like a Dynasty Warriors game where you go around and like fight a bunch of the enemy programs, like hundreds of them at once. Which they are like magical heroes and stuff, so it makes sense they can take on that many when they've like already completed their power-up journey and all that. Did you actually manage to advance again? There are only 8 masters left. To think you're one of them is truly annoying. But okay. Oh, I'm mostly just getting my bearings here to remember and keep in mind what this round has in store for us. But I believe all we really had to do was just talk to Caster in our room and then go to the arena. Oh yeah, I guess we can probably say hi to Togo Ozaki over here. I'm pretty sure this doesn't do anything, it's rather just giving you some more characterization for them, since they did pretty much just show up out of nowhere. And if you haven't played their game, which I haven't, then you have no idea who they are. But and I haven't seen any walkthroughs actually mention needing to talk to them for a thing. But I like doing it anyways, because it just makes me feel like I'm doing the stuff I need to. Same with like talking to both Rin and Ranni every day that they're available. 5th Chimeric Lunar Sea, 1st floor. Human existence is filled with unimaginable despair, but still, a whole humanity feels to see this. It is in this obsidian darkness that illumination will come. I believe that was the end of it. Grrr! I think I felt an enemy nearby, but maybe it was my imagination. How strange. Keep going, Master, but be careful. Let the hunt begin. Okay, first, we grabbing the enhancement spike, and we'll stick with the mermaid rope for now, since it still heals enough. It heals 1,000 or so. That familiar black coat strides into my field of vision. There's no mistaking that form, that gaze. It's none other than Julius. But even though we're in the arena, there's no sign of the servant. What could this... Ah, bingo! I knew I felt that slime ball here. What? His servant isn't here? He's got a lot of guts to walk around defenseless. It's called confidence, sweetheart! Huh? What just happened? In the space of a second, the air grew thick, and then I heard a thud as if something big hit the floor. But there was nothing there, for there's no mistaking that Caster has collapsed on the floor. No. Why? It's over. Let's go. Huh? Not satisfied. Do you want to slice off their heads, too? No, there's no need. I've hit their heart, which is enough, but... Yeah, that's enough. They're as good as dead. I see. Let's go, then. Maybe it was my imagination, but Julius barely glanced at me before walking off. Julius turned away from me, melting back into the dimly lit passage like some kind of apparition. That voice must have belonged to Julius' servant. He said something pretty ominous. they're as good as dead. Haha. Castor isn't moving. I can't think of anything but that terrible sight. My strong, capable servant is lying helpless on the floor. We just came out the wrong side of a surprise attack. I can't believe what I'm seeing. This can't be real. It's a dream, right? No, I can't wake up from this dream. It's real. What just happened? He's got some kind of skill that masks his presence and even set completely. An assassin servant? But the way he erased his presence isn't normal. Matrix, level 1. Enemy servant info obtained. Castor haltingly gets up. It's clear that she is worse for the wear. I'm sorry, my dear master. I've been defeated. Kaplooey. Castor. Seeing that I am safe, Castor sighs in relief and collapses again. I have to fix my servant as soon as possible. I'm sorry, Master. I've been mostly restored, and since it seemed that you've grown as well, I kind of let my guard down. Even if it didn't always seem like it, Master. I thought, in some weird sense of self-righteousness, that I could protect you by being cautious. I'm sorry. I'm sure I'll be healed enough to fight soon. Please don't overexert yourself until then. I can only imagine how much it hurts Castor to even speak. She must really be worried about me. She must have foreseen Julius' assassination attempt on me. That must be why she tried so hard to protect me by herself, so that I would have nothing to worry about. However, the enemy servant somehow overcame her vigilance. Focused on protecting her master, Castor never thought that she'd become a target. Castor never thought that she'd become a target. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Because of my conceit, I almost lost the person I most want to serve. Castor has no reason to apologize for any of this. I should have been paying attention. The responsibility for Julius' successful ambush is mine alone. I have to do something to help Castor recover as quickly as possible. I owe her that much for protecting me. Arena completion, 9%. Enemy servant info 1 obtained. Target level 28. Assassin question mark? Magic 8+. Ha 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 ha. It would be sort of funny if you raised your servant's luck stat and then none of the bad stuff that happens in the arena, like the enemy blocking off the triggers or them hiding information like Shinji did, if none of that happened if you raised your luck stat high enough. Especially if it was like, oh, if you get your luck stat maxed out specifically, then it won't happen. Like if it was basically a New Game Plus exclusive thing. But anyways, that was day 1. Now up to day 2. I haven't processed yesterday's events yet. Castor fell asleep yesterday in our private room, but it's morning and my servant isn't awake yet. That's a problem. Looking at my servant, the words of Julius' invisible servant taunt me. Death is inescapable. Death. Is Castor going to die? My strong, wise servant who's always defended stupid me might really die? As much as my heart wants to deny it, my brain can't. Castor sucks in with regrets, but doesn't awaken. I have to do something. Knowing that I have to do something doesn't mean I know what to do. When I rush out of the room to collect my thoughts, I run into a concerned-looking Ranni. Hakuna, good morning. Oh, hi Ranni. Good morning. I absent-mindedly reply. You don't look so well. Has something happened? Ranni's worried tone jumpstarts my adult mind into processing things again. The first thing I notice is that my face is stiff with worry. Belatedly, I turn and greet Randy with a smile. I'm glad to see you up and about.
Yes, I'm fine. I've gotten enough rest now. Now it's you I'm worried about, Hakuna. What has happened? Please tell me if you can. You provide me a great service, the professor said someone might someday. You provide me a great service, the professor said someone might someday, so I must repay you.
Weird sentence, but I think I read it mostly right. Her professor? Randy talks about this individual a lot. What kind of things have they taught her?
Immediately after creating you, my professor said to me, find someone who treasures you for more than the doll you are, for when I do, that is when I will have a soul. That is why I have kept searching, and I have found that someone, you, Hakuna. You are so unlike my professor, and yet you are the one, yes, you are my owner. So please let me assist you.
A doll.
My instructor could not construct me with a soul, therefore I am nothing more than a vessel. The person who holds my life fills that vessel. I have always believed the words of my professor, and they have come to fruition. I found you.
After an involuntary and somewhat bewildered silence, Randy goes on.
Hakuna, you have made me more whole, but I am beholden first. You have made me more whole, but I am beholden first and foremost to my professor. Up until now, I have thought my duty was to understand the lessons my professor taught me. However, Hakuna, I wish to aid you of my own free will, not for my professor, if you permit.
Of course, I welcome her help. It's reassuring to know that even in the Holy Grail War, cooperation is possible. I'm luckier still that Randy is so skilled. But being her owner is a little over the top. I wonder if friend will do.
Hi. Friend? If you wish, Hakuna. Now, I ask not because I need proof of our bond, but may I leave your portable terminal with mine, Hakuna?
I see no reason to object. I nod my assent and hand my portable terminal over to Randy. She's giving me her phone number. Randy chants softly, and suddenly the terminal blinks. That must mean it's connected.
The linking was successful. Now we should be able to keep in contact even when we're in the arena.
Cool. Now we can communicate anytime. I'm glad Randy's on my side. She smiles when I thank her.
I lack the vast experience of my professor, and on top of that, I have lost my servant. But I am still an alchemist of Atlas, and if there's anything I can help with, please ask.
Anything. That's right. Randy may know a way to revive Castor.
What? Your servant was injured by that black scorpion? Is your servant okay?
When I tell her my servant is still asleep in our private room, Randy ruminates for a moment.
Your servant is still asleep in your private room. Will you please show me right away? I may know a way to revive your injured servant.
Definitely not saying no to that. I nod curtly and accompany Randy to my private room. Castor should still be asleep there.
This is... Your nerves, your magic circuits are in disarray. In layman's terms, the pipe that supplies magic to your servant has been blocked. The servant thrives off their master's magic. Without it, they cannot even sustain their body's existence. Your servant is sustaining their body on their magic alone right now. But that source is finite. Unless their master's supply resumes, they will perish in a few days' time. I have a grasp on the situation. I will think of something. Please come see me again later. I'll be waiting at my usual spot in the third floor hallway.
Randy leaves the room, the look on her face solemn. Frustration at my powerlessness wells up every time I see Castor in pain, but it's accompanied by the urge for me to get help fast. With Randy's help this evening, I'll form a plan of action. It's been hours since I spoke with Randy about it. Maybe she's found a way to help my servant. I guess I should head to the third floor.
I see you are in fine health. Are you alone? Wherever might your servant be?
I twirl around to find the source of the voice. There's no one there. I don't sense anyone. Almost like they're erased for being a copyright infringement. But there's no mistaking that was the voice of Julius' servant, Michael Theodore Mouse. In other words, the malicious unknown mouse who incapacitated Castor yesterday. Just hearing the sound of his voice petrifies me and makes me break out in a cold sweat. I try to flee, but my body rejects the command.
Uh-huh! No need to be so tense. I really happen to be taking a leisurely stroll on my own.
I'm very happy that we actually got a real haha in the script. So he's saying, if Julius isn't there commanding him to, he isn't interested in fighting me?
Well, why such surprise? I'm not so savage to deal death when there is no need. Although I do applaud that you've learned to be more cautious after your fight with Julius. He and I are kindred spirits, but I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if I killed as often as him.
The unseen servant laughs heartily. I get the impression he's not the unrestrained killer Julius is.
Listen, I only kill one person every fight. That means just one person will unequivocally die. But it seems that your servant still lives. Take pride in that servant, O brave Magus, for they eluded my fist, if only for an instant. It's a pity that I'll be forced to kill an opponent I have enjoyed more than me before.
A pity? Maybe Julius' servant isn't the mad hellhound I thought he was. Then, maybe he'd be willing to heal my injured Castor.
Stay your request. As much as I'd like to assist you, my fists bring only destruction. My fists are murderous things, only able to rend the flesh and break the bones of the human body. The number that survive is 0, so as you see, I am no honorable warrior, just an executioner. So, you must aid your servant with your own hands if I am to have an enjoyable fight. Good day, then. I enthusiastically anticipate you and your servant's eventual retaliation.
After those last words, the air is suddenly less tense. Did he leave? Anyway, right now there's no sense in standing around and wallowing in my own powerlessness. First we say hello to Castor. So say it. Okay, good. Castor is still breathing. What the heck was that attack? Not even Castor saw it coming. Until I figure out what happened, I can kiss my thoughts of victory goodbye. First things first, I have to get Castor to recover, or I won't even be able to explore the arena. I should ask Granny. I bet she would know what to do. Leave.
Hakuno, thanks for coming here to see me. As far as I could determine, casters have significant damage done to their magic circuits. If your servant does not receive an infusion of magic soon, they won't be alive to see tomorrow.
Dead by tomorrow? Whatever the case, what can I do before tomorrow comes? How can I supply them with magic?
I have a solution that'll work, even if this is a curse that won't break until you defeat your foe.
Granny looks directly at me and continues to speak in an almost indifferent tone.
The solution to your problem is simple. I'll temporarily send my power to Castor.
Granny will send her... Is that even possible? I don't know where to begin. First of all, I can't even imagine how that'll work.
There is a bit of preparation that will need to be done, but it shouldn't be an issue. First, I'll connect to the Holy Grail while you're in the arena and open a temporary back door. Through it, I'll be able to send magic to your servant. Consider me a spare fuel tank if you must.
Is that even possible? More importantly, how much stress will it put on Granny's body?
I appreciate your concern, but it's the only way, Hakuno. However, if you disapprove...
If Granny doesn't have a problem with it, who am I to object? And it's not like I have a choice. So, what do you need me to do?
First, go to the arena and put this in a place that'll be easy to hack into.
Bypass circuit. As she says this, she hands me a black cube. And this is?
It is a bypass circuit. Once in place, it will allow me to provide a flow of magic into the arena. Once you're in the arena, I'll walk you through the details. For now, please go to the arena.
I'm glad I spoke to Granny. I'm sure everything will turn out okay, somehow. For now, I'd better head to the arena like Granny said.
I'll discuss the details with you once you get to the arena.
Okay, then we'll check the rooftop.
Wow, you look really depressed. Let me guess, Julius Harway tried to ambush you again?
What? I'm Ray?
I guess it's time you started actually earning your victories for a change.
So yeah, on the Ranny route, Rin just really does not like us. Taiga needs to find a coin. Also, we'll check in with Sakura for our new lunch.
I'm so glad to see you. This is the lunch, but I hope you enjoy it. This is very good, don't Manny. Come back in the next week.
Then we save. The arena entrance, first floor.
Going into the arena alone will be stupid and fatal. I'm coming with you.
I was planning on entering the arena alone, but Castor would have noticed immediately. It's obvious that my servant is in no condition to fight effectively, if at all. However, I have no choice but to have them join me. The fact is that if I entered the arena alone, I wouldn't last a minute. The 5th round has arrived, and Castor said that they would fight, injuries and all. Knowing the consequences of my actions, I ask that you fight alongside me anyway. Of course, you probably expected nothing less from one you fought alongside with.
Now that's the master I know and love. And anyway, death and battle go hand in hand. So regardless of my condition, protecting my master is the only thing that matters to me.
It is in this obsidian darkness that illumination will come.
It seems you're able to get into the arena. As I said earlier, find the weak points in the arena's firewall and set up a bypass circuit. I will guide you along, so please listen to my transmissions.
Yeah, go ahead.
And also, when I connect with the Holy Grail, that means I will link to you, Crocodile. I'll have to intrude on your files for a bit. So please forgive me.
Whatever Ranny needs to do, she has my permission. If I want to carry out Ranny's plan, I'll need to avoid contact with the enemy. And to do that, I'll need speed.
Are you ready? Is everything alright? Everything seems in order. Then, let us begin. It appears that this dungeon has 6 places vulnerable to hacking. I marked the potential hacking sites. Visit them in the specified order. That is a weak point. Please place the terminal as close to it as possible. This one is inaccessible. I cannot circumvent the barrier. Cannot access this one either.
Oh no, it's a phobia. And Castor's dying. Let's see. This should be relatively safe. But yeah, we do very little damage now. Let's see how the magic does. Fiery Heaven. Ooh, only 390. And I can't really risk actually being hit here, because even when we're blocking, it's still doing 30 damage to us. Bam. Getting decent experience though, almost 500.
This one is not suitable. Please make your way to the next one. It's anxiety and exhilaration. I've never experienced such a thing.
This guy just waltzing toward us so utterly slowly. You know what? Nope, we couldn't make it past. I'm just gonna blast him. Okay, and we started this battle at 270. Actually, no, that doesn't matter. I'm gonna count out how good the darn regeneration skill is, since we got that passive skill that regenerates the mana at the end of battle. 150. 120. And we are at 152, so we get 32 mana back right now.
I apologize. I'm not good enough. As you told me, I will do what I think is right.
Oh, get out of the way.
This one is not suitable. Please make your way to the next one. There it is, a perfect place.
So yeah, last time on the Saber route, I hit up the first spot, and then I ended up running directly for this one just purely coincidentally.
It appears you found a place suitable for hacking. The portable terminal has caught a signal.
And yes, this one is always the correct one, I'm pretty sure.
I shall analyze it in more detail to see if it is an appropriate place to set a bypass circuit.
It's all you, Ranni. She responds quickly.
Yes, that place is suitable to establish a bypass circuit. I will circumvent the barrier by channeling magic through the holy grail that maintains the arena.
I hear her whisper something.
I will conduct an unauthorized entry through the terminal. Please remain still.
We won't
know until we test it out, but it appears the bypass circuit was successfully created. It's all thanks to your support, so thank you very much. Now then, let us continue this on the school grounds.
Ah. No sooner have I replied in acknowledgement than an aura of death sends chills through my body. I roll around to see. I think your victory declaration may have been premature. Julius. Our prey is running free when they should be rotting. What is this? Did you take mercy on them?
No, I'd say they were just good enough. Not at all, I'd say they were just good enough to evade the full force of my strength.
I see. Then this time let's be sure and leave them corpses. My servant isn't in condition to fight properly. Well, we have no choice but to defend ourselves. Look for an escape. I'd never win challenging this fierce opponent while my servant is exhausted like this. I need to escape somehow, but I'm facing the harshest of all the masters I've encountered so far. He and his servant are like a pair of hawks who would only revel in swooping down on their fleeing prey. I have to prepare for the worst.
Hakuna, I'll perform a forced withdrawal on you.
Accompanying Ranni's voice is a blinding light that comes shooting out of my terminal. No sooner than I hear Ranni's words does the light expand around me. My vision goes white. All my senses are snuffed out. The bright light forces me to clench my eyes shut as I give my body over to a strong gravitational pull. My virtual body is compressed into a single point and removed from the arena. My consciousness condenses, like two dimensions becoming one, and then traveling to a far beyond. in that strange time space.
Connection established. Are these his files?
I hear Rennie's voice.
That cannot be.
Her voice wavers, as if she's so shocked she can hardly speak.
He has no body.
She softly mutters a searing truth. $44%. Oh, let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of cutscenes on day 3 here. Because there's also well, yeah, there's a lot of cutscenes on day 3 here, so I'll be patient and I'll make you guys be patient too. And we'll wait till next time to do round 4, day 3. And we gotta loop the save files back round. So I'll see you all next time for round 5, day 3. For round 5, day 3. Hope to see you all then. Bye bye.